What's bigger than Wizkid and Tim's Essence?
Well, I mean, looks like Drake is having a good year so far with
But so you think I'm Too Sexy's bigger than Essence?
I mean, it's new. It's new, but you know, we got, what, 3 more months left, so we'll see.
I hate that way I'm Too Sexy record.
I mean...
Brackets on brackets. We tryna get to these brackets. We flipping through all of these hits and these classics. Sometimes don't know which one to pick when it happens. We mixing and matching, we listening and trying to get brackets. Complex brackets.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Complex Brackets. I'm your host, Brian B.Dot Miller, and summer's officially over, so it's only right that we look back at what was. Here to help us crown the best song of summer 2021 is a guy who keeps his finger on the pulse. Please welcome Hot 97 and Apple Music's Ebro Darden.
Hello,
Ebro, what's
B.Dot,
good, man?
What's happening, baby?
Good to see you.
Yeah, man. What's happening? This is a nice setup y'all got here.
You know what I mean?
It's nice.
Now, Ebro, as I said, summer's come to a close and a few songs come to mind. But in general, what qualities do you think that a song has to have in order to become a summertime hit?
I think, well, look, there's obviously the chart metrics and the streaming, all those things. But I think above and beyond that, it's staying power throughout the season. Multiple moments. Not moments for the artist. Moments where the consumer is using the song as the soundtrack to their summer. You know what I mean? It's at the clubs. It's on it's at their house parties. It's in the IG.
That stuff you can't quantify.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's kind of like all around you. So I think you got to kind of check all boxes.
Okay. Now, Ebro, because of last year, we were at the height of COVID. Do you feel like a song means more this year than it did in 2020?
I don't know. I really can't answer that. I could argue both ways probably.
Okay.
Like this summer, more people got out of and outside, so maybe it meant more. But I could also argue that maybe it meant more when people couldn't go anywhere and they needed you and they needed your music and they needed something to help them get them through. So,
all right. So you ready to help us crown a song of the summer?
I mean, when you say it, it's popping out here.
So
that's
they
why
say.
I came. Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's get bracking.
All right,
first matchup we got DJ Khaled featuring Lil Baby and Lil Durk, Every Chance I Get, versus the Kid Laroi and Justin Bieber, Stay.
Now I think Kid Laroi is a super pop thing that did its chart thing and big on the charts once again on the radio.
On the radio, right.
This Khaled, Lil Baby, Lil Durk, not only was it on the radio, but it was at the clubs, it was at the parties, it was I feel like Khaled, Every Chance I Get, checks more boxes in life, in real life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And also, just the way Lil Baby and Lil Durk, I'm biased because they really get into the raps on this record, so I'm a little bit biased in that regard. So I'm picking Khaled.
Khaled said this was the song of the summer.
I mean, he's supposed to say that.
He's supposed to say
that. Khaled, I love you, but you had some stiff competition this year.
That's a fact. All right, well, Every Chance I Get, it's going on to the next round. Ebro, I want your thoughts on this right here.
Yeah.
Drake featuring Lil Baby, Wants and Need versus Lil Nas X and Jack Harlow, Industry Baby.
I think, once again, Industry Baby, big on the charts, getting a lot of radio play now.
Right.
Wants and Needs, though, if I recall correctly, teed up the summer. Wants and Needs came out as the summer started to heat up.
Yeah, Drake dropped that 3-pack.
Right. So, in a way, Drake gets this because A, it checks more boxes. People was actually playing this out and about. It was going around. B, it teed up the summer and carried through. Where I feel like Industry Baby is like the last 8 weeks. You know what I mean? So Industry Baby wasn't rocking in June.
That's true.
Wants and Needs was rocking in June.
It was.
So it was and then stayed through the full summer.
Yeah. Wants and Needs.
So I'm picking Drake.
Damn, Ebro, that sounds like a no-brainer. Drake goes on to the next round.
Listen, I don't know why y'all play with Drake anyway. I don't even know why y'all did that to the bro. Lil Nas X and Jack Harlow, man.
He had to pick
that's
somebody.
A tough bracket. That's like what is that? That's like the 1 seed versus the 15 seed or whatever that is. That's a tough one.
Exactly. Next up, we got Migos Straightening versus Moneybagg Yo Waukesha.
Love Migos Straightening, great record, but Moneybagg Yo Waukesha is the clear winner here.
Really?
Yeah. Not only did it have chart position, it got airplay too. And it's in a sense, it's a straight ahead rap record. Like it is not like a super singing hook or trying, you know what I mean? He's barring it up on this record, telling a story, right? It's conceptual. And I believe, if I recall correctly, when this Moneybagg Yo album came out, this Waukesha was the song that the fans of the album were playing the most. And now it's going on to get a remix.
Yep, it has Lil Wayne and Ashanti on there.
Right, so and that took it to a whole other level, right? So I think Waukesha's the clear winner here.
All right, Waukesha pushes on to the next round. Next up with bat, we got Coi Leray featuring Lil Durk, No More Parties remix versus Capella Grey, Gyalis.
This is a tough one.
Is it?
It's tough because No More Parties did its thing.
Coi Leray is just.
I mean, that might be, and you might be valid. And look, I don't want to shit on Coi Leray.
I'll do it for you.
I think Coi Leray is trying to find her way in the game. She's done some questionable things with the bars and the freestyles, and yes, she's representing Jersey. But I think she's got more to her artistry than she's letting on right now. I think she's falling into the internet trolling shit a little too much, which I could be compromising the credibility in the brand.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna leave that there.
Okay.
This Gyalis though. This Gyalis is the song for New York in the summer, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. As far as New York goes, I can't speak for everyone else, but this guy right here, Capella Grey representing the Bronx, is definitely, for me, a bigger, more important record than No More Parties, Coi Leray. Right? There's nothing that sounds like it. Right? It's got hip-hop sensibilities and Caribbean sensibilities.
It does.
Right? He's got rapping abilities and melodic abilities, so we have a lot more to hear from Capella Grey. And while that's a whole different conversation, Gyalis, I think, is the more impactful and checks more boxes than No More Parties.
Well, I can't argue with that. Capella Grey goes on to the next round.
Yeah.
Next up to bat, we got Doja Cat featuring SZA, Kiss Me More versus Bia and Nicki Minaj, Whole Lot of Money.
Now, I personally am more of a fan of the Doja Cat SZA record than I am the Whole Lot of Money record.
Really? I like the Whole Lot of Money more.
Right? I like Whole Lot of Money, but I like both Bia and Nicki. I've heard Bar It Up and really get to some serious raps than this song. I think this is a song that kind of got going because of TikTok and social media, whatever, and salute to this record. I'm happy for Bia. Always loving seeing Nicki support the young female artists. But that Doja Cat SZA though, it moves out here.
More so than a Whole Lot of Money.
It moved. That's a huge record, that Doja Cat SZA. And I see, and I'm gonna say this even further. I think because of the style of the record of Kiss Me More, I personally have seen it, the skating rinks, right? I've seen it at the barbecue because it feels old school.
Yeah,
so it kind of has that cheat code where the grandmas and aunties is playing this joint. You know what I'm saying? It's at the cookouts a little bit more. The kids is singing this record. You know what I mean? Et cetera, et cetera. I go with Kiss Me More.
Kiss Me More if Doja Cat goes on to the next round. Next up to bat, we got Cardi B Up versus Megan Thee Stallion. That shit.
Straight up and down, love both the records as just the records go.
Right.
I believe Cardi B's record has a head start on Megan Thee Stallion's Thot shit.
Cardi B came out more at the top of the year.
Yeah, I feel like, and I feel like it went farther chart-wise, airplay-wise than Thot shit did. You know what I mean? So I would have to pick up Cardi B in this matchup right here.
But Up, it's stuck. Goes on to the next round. Next up to bat, we got The Weeknd, Take My Breath versus Wizkid and Thames Essence.
Listen, shout out to Abel, you my brother.
Yes.
You my brother.
Shout out to Sal and the whole XO crew.
Shout out to all of y'all.
Yes.
I love you. This Essence record,
it's tough to beat.
It literally checked every single box when you're thinking about a summertime record.
Right.
And, I'm partial, because it's heavy putting on for Africa.
Yes.
Heavy putting on for Nigeria. So I'm picking Essence, Wizkid, Thames. Now, The Weeknd, he's African too. You know what I'm saying? African heritage too. But, this Wizkid, Thames,
it's a
Essence.
little different.
The way I understood it and the way I heard it, Bieber wanted to jump on the Essence joint. He needed to stand next to that heat.
He got on the remix.
Yeah. And by the way, that's how big the song is.
Forget Justin Bieber on
Nobody even cared about Justin Bieber jumping on it like that. I mean, it was cool. It was a story for a week or two, but that ain't the one that people running.
Yeah.
They run that original.
Still going by the original, right?
Yeah.
Sticking with the OG. Wizkid and Thames Essence goes on to the next round. And last matchup in the first round, we got Olivia Rodrigo, Good For You versus Dua Lipa, The Baby, Levitating. Now, to be fair, Levitating came out last year, but I feel like it started getting strides this year.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not close enough to these records and the format to know. I know that Olivia Rodrigo is one of the biggest artists of 2021.
Yeah.
Dua Lipa, I know this record for sure, and it was going around. This is the record they actually took DaBaby off of.
Yeah,
remember?
exactly, right.
That's what this record, Levitating, is about. And yeah, it definitely was this year. But I think we have to go with Olivia Rodrigo, Good For You, because of what you just pointed out, which is it's more about 2021, and Olivia Rodrigo is massive in 2021.
Because according to Spotify, they named that the song of the summer too.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So
Right.
we on point.
All right then, well, Olivia Rodrigo goes on to the next round, and there we have our Elite Eight. Now, obviously, there's only 16 spots. You know, some records couldn't make the cut, like
Okay.
Saweetie and Doja Cat,
Okay.
Best Friend,
All right.
BTS Guys, Butter, and of course, Silk Sonic, Leave the Door Open.
Listen, fam.
Are there any
if that Leave the
songs-
Door Open would have made it up here.
Could have made the list?
Fam, I don't give a fuck what people say. That shit right there was ringing
I
off.
feel like that's more of like spring, maybe winter.
You might be right.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that shit still right
Still
now.
goes off, right?
Yeah.
Now, are there any songs on your personal playlist that should have been mentioned besides Leave the Door Open?
Can I go
Yeah, go
check
ahead.
my Apple
Absolutely.
Music real quick? Hang on one second.
Shameless plug.
Hang on one second. Let me see. This Hurricane record with The Weeknd is the one that's kind of staying around. That's floating. Like, I'm just looking at what people are streaming.
Yeah.
Oh, what's Polo G Rap Star from?
I think is that this year? or
Polo
last
G
year?
Rap Star's 2021.
Polo
So
G-
that was one. Polo G Rap Star could have been up here. And Pooh Shiesty, Back in Blood.
Black and Blood.
Back in Blood could have been up here. That joint was ringing off.
Yeah, it did. Now let's get into our Elite Eight. First up, we got DJ Khaled, Little Baby, Little Durk, Every Chance I Get, featuring Drake and Little Baby, Wants and Needs. It's like Little Baby versing himself.
It's Lil Baby versus himself. It's also Khaled and Drake. I mean, they're boys.
Yes.
I mean, they was just having dinner together. This is,
Did you get the invite?
Absolutely not.
Oh, man.
But for me,
Yes.
this is tough.
Gun to your head. Which song is the song of the summer?
Damn, we talking gun talk?
Gun to your
Shit. The only person who would probably kill me for my choice right here is Khaled. Drake don't give a shit about what I think.
Oh, man.
I want to say I go back to which one stayed around the longest. And I feel like Wants and Needs was out a little bit before Every Chance I Get, if I remember the timeline correctly, and stayed around in a top chart position longer than Every Chance I Get.
Might have. It might have.
I think that would be the determining kind of way we would have to make this call.
Sorry, Khaled. But Wants
Love
and
you,
Needs
Khaled.
goes on to the next round. Next up, we got Moneybagg Yo, Waukesha versus Capella Grey, Gyalis.
These records are very different.
They are.
Just sonically very different. I go back to the staying power. Not that Gyalis won't be around after this convo,
It will.
but Waukesha has been on the chart since before Gyalis and is still there now. And is still doing numbers now. So I go back to that measurement system of what's been around the longest, and I would have to say Waukesha has.
So with that being said, Moneybagg Yo
Moneybagg Yo.
goes on to the next round. Next matchup, we got Doja Cat and SZA, Kiss Me More versus Cardi B, Up.
Both these records, I mean, look, Up is a more, Kiss Me More is not a rap record
Right.
at all. It's not even, Kiss Me More is a straight pop record.
Yeah.
Up is a pop, hip hop record. You know what I mean? And has, more club sensibility, street sensibility, if we're even gonna use that.
Yeah.
In this, because it's Cardi B. But going back to the staying around longer metric, I feel like Kiss Me More has had a higher height on the chart and a longer run on the chart. So I would pick Kiss Me More.
All right, Kiss Me More goes on for more. Goes on to the next round.
Yeah.
And last matchup we got Wizkid and Thames, Essence versus
Yeah,
Olivia Rodrigo, Good For You.
Essence for me.
That's a no-brainer, right?
Essence, yeah. I think Essence had a longer run of success. Olivia Rodrigo was huge, but it was only huge in one area, which is pop.
Right.
Essence has been massive in R&B. It's been massive.
All
It's
forms.
clearly, it's massive in the culture. And then a pop star, Justin Bieber, wanted to get on the song.
Right.
And take it to another audience. So I would say Essence.
Well, Essence goes on to the next round. And then we have our final four. Now, Ebro, DJ Khaled said that his song was the song of the summer on a jet ski. I mean, obviously you didn't make it that far, but it's got me to thinking, are there certain artists that you think of as summertime artists? I mean, Khaled and Drake obviously stand out to me.
I mean, Hov used to run summers.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
He held you down for what, 6 or 7 summers?
whatever the number was.
Yeah.
Dear Summer, you know, I know you're gonna miss me.
Yes.
But I wanna say I feel like Wayne always had a good summer situation. But maybe I was just
Wayne was always around. He always had a presence in the summer. I think Drake has always been that guy. But I think Jay-Z was known.
Yeah, but also, you know, he owned that. He wanted you to think of him when it was time to go outside and, you know, party and do all that. So
Reggie Jackson was Mr. October. Jay-Z was like Mr. Summer, right?
Mr. Summer.
Do you think having a summertime hit is still as important as it used to be?
Depending on your format of music and how your music is used, right? I think I don't think we discuss enough how some artists, you know, they make music for certain scenarios.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, some artists make great driving music. Some artists make great club music.
Yeah.
Some artists make great, you know, workout records. Some, you know what I mean? It's, you know, some artists make great, you know, romantic shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it just depends on the artist and what you're trying to do. If your audience and the people you're targeting are outside having a good time, going to clubs, you know, spring breaking and traveling and that whole thing, if that's your target, then it's important. But if that's not your target and you're Michael Bublé, who's gonna run the charts for the holidays, you know what I mean? Or Mariah Carey's gonna drop that holiday joint.
Mariah Carey.
You know what I mean? And you don't care about the summer like that.
Absolutely. All right, let's keep it moving. The first matchup in the Final Four we got Drake and Lil Baby, Wants and Needs versus Moneybagg Yo, Waukesha. It is getting tough. I ain't gonna lie, I thought Gyalis was gonna go all the way, but this surprised me.
Yeah, nah, look, I love Gyalis.
Right.
Got caught in a tough bracket. Got caught in a tough situation. It happens to the best of us.
Yes.
I mean, if we're gonna be consistent,
Yes.
I feel like Waukesha has been around longer than Wants and Needs.
I'm not gonna lie, like that's not even my favorite song on the album.
It's not.
But the people have picked it as the song.
I think for the young, you know, active consumer of hip hop today, they are very enamored with his ability to create this metaphor of love, of a girl, and the lean, and the sample, and so it's checking a lot of boxes in that regard. And I think if we're being consistent with what we've been saying, I think Waukesha has had a longer run as a song than Wants and Needs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love Wants and Needs. Phenomenal record.
What do you think's more important, longevity or peak for a song?
Longevity.
Longevity?
Longevity. Because they're songs that never chart. They never were successful, but you still play them 10 years later because they're a part of culture.
Absolutely.
And I think that's way more important than, you know, as a fan.
Right.
Now, I'm sure artists would argue, you know, and record label folks would argue that chart position, you know, helps them do a lot of shit. But as a fan, my thing is, do I play it 5-6 years later and still want to hear it?
Right. All right, well, Waukesha goes on to the final round. And last matchup in the third round we got Doja Cat and SZA, Kiss Me More versus Wizkid and Tems, Essence.
Essence for me.
Essence.
Easy.
Still no brainer.
Easy for me. and we could do it on longevity. Like, I think Essence came out long before Kiss Me More, but I think what's really important about this matchup is Essence was brought to us mainstream folks by the culture that it comes from.
I love it when that happens.
It wasn't just, you know, and this is not a knock on Doja Cat and SZA, but this is just a formulaic great pop song.
Right.
You know what I mean? That went straight to radio and was like, boom. Essence was embraced by Nigeria and the UK and Afrobeat fans and Wizkid fans, and then brought up through clubs and parties and social media, and then got to radio, and then, you know, hung out at radio through the music research and all of that shit and stayed around. Like, that's a real great story.
Right, I love it when that happens.
Yeah.
Man. So Wizkid, Essence, goes on to the final round. Now, Ebro, before we get into our championship round, with streaming platforms creating endless access to music, do you think having a summertime hit has the same importance as it did before, or even more?
I know in my world of, you know, radio and media, because I'm at a young targeted radio station, that window from March, April, when kids are young college kids and everybody's prepping to go on vacation and get into the summer months, all the way until probably end of October, you know, where people settle into their winter. That stretch is kind of like, that's when we in the clubs, that's when we doing events, that's summer jam, that's, you know what I mean? So we're always looking for the music that's matters most during that window.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm always looking for the biggest record or the biggest artist or the biggest new sound or the biggest thing that's gonna bring people together.
Do you think it's harder to find that because there's so much music out there and there's so many different ways to be?
But the cream always rises to the top.
That's
you know what I'm saying? And now with streaming, like when you're looking at Spotify, Apple Music, or any of the streaming services, you know, you get to see on those charts what people are consuming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, and you know, on Apple Music, we have it broken down where you could go into each city. So you can look at the top 25 in New York, Atlanta, all around the world, Singapore, and see like, okay, this is what people are playing there. So I think you know, it's harder to find because there is a lot more to look for. But in some ways, it's easier to measure because of streaming services and how they're seeing what people are streaming and showing it.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into our final round. Moneybagg Yo, Waukesha versus Wizkid and Tems, Essence.
I mean, for me, it's Essence, Wizkid and Tems.
No brainer. It checks off all the boxes. It's been around for a while.
Yeah. Look, I'm happy for Moneybagg Yo. I am ecstatic for that young dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? He is an artist that cares about being dope as a rapper.
He does.
He cares
I think
about.
he proved that on this album too.
Yeah, he cares about crafting a song and an album that has, you know, thought. You know what I mean? And I actually give a lot of weight to that, right? Like I, as a listener and as a fan of the music, I've always given a lot of weight, and maybe it's because I was raised in music in the late 80s and 90s where an album would come out, it would have a theme and an idea, and the music would fit in kind of into that theme and idea, and et cetera, et cetera. So I appreciate that him as an artist took the time to do that on this Gangsta's Pain album that he put out. But the song I think that carries the most, gravitas. And cultural significance is Wizkid Essence with Tems, because, and this is, you know, something that I always talk about, probably people get tired of hearing me talk about, is connecting the cultures of black folks in America and black folks in the diaspora.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that Essence record is something that black folks in America are celebrating and living life to simultaneously with our brothers and sisters in Africa and around the world. So, and it's a different sound.
Right.
We often, in the North American lens, want to call everything coming out of Africa Afrobeat.
Right, we do.
This is an R&B record.
You think it's an R&B record?
Yeah, this is not an Afrobeat record. This is what they call like Alte. It's an alternative R&B vibe sound. It's not straight ahead Afrobeats like people would quintessentially call it. Now, our North American ears.
Yeah, but did you just make that up?
No.
That's a real thing.
This is what I was told.
Oh, okay.
This is not my theory or hypothesis at all.
Okay.
But that's why I believe that this is important, because this doesn't sound like
anything else.
David O'Fall or some of those other quintessential Afrobeat hits that we've heard. This sounds, it's very melodic. The instrumentation is different. You know, it's just a dope ass record.
Yeah.
It's a dope ass record. So my pick goes to Essence.
And there we have it. According to Ebro Darden, Essence is the song of the summer. And honestly, I don't think nobody can dispute that.
Nah, I mean, there might be some issues. You know, I'm gonna get some tweets about maybe picking Cardi over Megan, or picking the Doja SZA over Bia. We're definitely gonna hear about that. Gyalis. We're gonna hear about that for sure.
Now, Ebro, do you think that this song has a good chance of being Song of the Year?
Yeah, I think so. Why not? Like, what is bigger?
What's bigger than Essence?
As a singular song and moment, what's bigger than Wizkid and Tems' Essence?
Well, I mean, looks like Drake is having a good year so far with his sex.
So you think I'm Too Sexy is bigger than Essence?
I mean, it's new. It's new, but you know, we got what, 3 more months left, so we'll see.
I hate that way I'm Too Sexy record.
I mean,
and I love records on that album. There's records on that album that I love. That Way Too Sexy record, the video's dope, and I get what people like it. But I never liked, what's the other one? The Right Said Fred.
Right Said Fred.
I don't even like the sample it's
original?
from. I don't even, so I guess it was gonna miss me either way.
Or thanks for coming through. Yeah, I want to thank my guest Ebro for joining us on this week's episode of Complex Brackets and helping us crown a Song of Summer 2021. Jump in the comments to let us know if we got it right, and make sure you check out the description below where you'll find a playable link to this exact bracket and a link to a playlist with all these tracks. So now you can listen to the music as you fill out the bracket. Just make sure you share your results using the hashtag Complex Brackets on all social platforms. I'll catch y'all next week. I'm Brian B.Dot Miller. Rack up!